We hear the word sustainability thrown around constantly in business today, right? But what does it actually mean to lead in this space? It's become this massive buzzword, yet it's absolutely crucial for anyone studying corporate strategy, management, or how organizations really operate. So welcome. Today we're going to completely strip away the corporate jargon. We're getting right down to the fundamental operational pillars that define real structural responsibility in this explainer of the essence of sustainability leadership.
Okay, let's dive into this. What actually is sustainability leadership? It's a question that trips up a lot of organizations. They desperately want the PR boost of being seen as the good guys, but they fundamentally misunderstand the whole concept. To get to the truth, we first have to aggressively peel back the superficial assumptions we usually make in the business world when we try to define leadership.
To really understand it, we first need to get crystal clear on what it's not. It is not a job title you just hand out to someone to make the org chart look good. It's not some isolated department stuck way down the hall. And it certainly isn't a framed certification you pay for and hang in the lobby for everyone to see. You literally can't just slap a Chief Sustainability Officer label on an existing hierarchy and call it a day. True leadership, it can't be compartmentalized, and you definitely can't buy it. So, if it's none of these corporate band-aids, what actually is it?
Well, sustainability leadership is a capacity. The capacity of an organization to make decisions today that do not compromise tomorrow. Notice that highly specific word there, capacity. Think of it like an organizational muscle. It's this fundamental ability woven deeply into the very fabric of how a company operates, literally from top to bottom. For those of you focused on efficient management, this is a total paradigm shift. It's all about the collective power of an entire organization continuously weighing the long-term impact of its daily choices.
Let me say that again. The capacity to make decisions today that do not compromise tomorrow. That phrase is the absolute anchor of everything we're discussing right now. Every single choice made in the boardroom, out on the factory floor, or over in the accounting department, they all ripple forward in time. True leadership ensures those ripples don't completely drown the future. Now, how does an organization actually build this capacity in the real world? Well, it breaks down into 3 concrete areas.
This brings us to Pillar 1, procurement and external supply chain decisions.
You absolutely cannot claim to protect tomorrow if you have zero clue what's happening in your supply chain today. This capacity has to extend outward. It starts by asking yourself, where do you actually source your materials? Think about that for a second. Are you just blindly buying bulk goods, or can you trace them all the way back to the specific farm, mine, or forest they came from? Are those materials being extracted responsibly, or are they leaving a totally devastated landscape in their wake? Ignorance of origins, that's just no longer an excuse.
And immediately following that, who do you buy from? It's not just about the raw materials themselves, right? It's fundamentally about the human relationships in the actual corporate entities you're choosing to fund with your purchasing power. Are your suppliers genuinely aligned with your commitment to the future? Because every single dollar you spend is essentially a vote for how the world should operate.
This means you've got to formalize your values into strict, uncompromising baselines. What specific environmental standards are you requiring from your suppliers? And equally important, what social standards are you demanding from them? You just cannot outsource your impact. If your suppliers are out there polluting rivers or running unsafe factories, well then your procurement decisions are the ones compromising tomorrow. True leadership means dictating these terms externally and holding your partners accountable. No exceptions.
Okay, let's move to and see how this builds on Pillar 2, operations and internal consumption decisions. Once you've handled the external supply chain, you have to look inside your own walls. This is the day-to-day reality of how your business physically operates and how you keep the lights on. You've got to track 3 critical, undeniable metrics. Number 1, the energy you consume. Number 2, the water you use. And number 3, the waste you generate. Now, these aren't just minor line items on a monthly utility bill. They're the physical evidence of your operational decisions and your direct footprint on tomorrow. But here's the thing. Simply tracking these metrics, that isn't leadership. Anybody can measure stuff. The real test is, what are you actually doing to reduce all 3? Are you heavily investing in efficiency? Are you redesigning processes to eliminate waste before it's even created? Because if your energy, water, and waste are steadily creeping up year after year without a comprehensive plan to drive them down, well, your operational decisions are actively compromising the future, no matter what your shiny mission statement says.
Which brings us to the final, and honestly, perhaps the most vital structural element of the whole shebang. Pillar 3, governance, leadership, and representation decisions.
You see, you can have amazing procurement standards on paper and you can run highly efficient operations, but if your core governance is flawed, it's all going to eventually fall apart when tested by short-term financial pressures. So you have to ask yourself, when sustainability is threatened by budget cuts or heavily prioritized, does the future actually have a dedicated voice in your boardroom? Does the person holding the ultimate power truly have the capacity to make decisions today that do not compromise tomorrow? I'll leave you to deeply ponder this as we wrap up our explainer today. Who sits at your table when sustainability is